is Michael Dishnell, and I will be doing some short reports on my experiences here in Taiwan as I go to various schools to work with the teachers and students to help them practice their English. Good morning. This is Michael Dishnell, and this morning I am reporting from the Changhua prison. I would like to introduce the warden, who graciously has welcomed us to the prison and has taken us on a tour, a very educational experience for me. This is a very modern, progressive institution. Now, I am not overly familiar with the prison system in America. I read about it in the newspapers, but I have not been into the prisons to tour or to see what takes place. But I must say, here in Changhua, they spend an awfully large amount of time with rehabilitation, with trying to teach skills, the arts, crafts, music, drumming, trying to teach the inmates better habits, better ways to live. I have an example here. Prisoners drum up self-confidence. They have a very famous drum troupe that does traditional Chinese drumming. They go out and do performances. One of the drummers, I'm told, actually has become a professional drummer after his release from the prison. We have witnessed many, many examples of art. This is like being in an art gallery or being in a museum. And we were able to walk through the various workshops and see the inmates, the prisoners, working on the art. And I saw sculptures made out of simple materials sometimes, paper. When I thought we had beautiful tile or bricks on the walls, I realized that out of cardboard they had actually fashioned and painted and made the environment look very good. I think there are some big cultural differences between America and Taiwan when it comes to the prison system. I noticed that there's a military bearing here. The guards and the prisoners, they act a lot like I would have been acting when I was in the United States Marine Corps as a young man. A lot of respect for the hierarchy and for people above. So it's not uncommon. I see people saluting very often. People opening doors, very polite, actually a very warm environment considering that it's a prison. I would not have anticipated that I would be as comfortable and feel as welcome and as good in an institution like this. What I hear in America is how terrible it is in the prisons and how awful. I do not see that here. I am sure there are people here who are dangerous, but they are very well behaved. They would move aside. When we would approach, the guards would make a motion. They would move aside, or perhaps they would kneel down. Very well controlled. I have to say, very modern facility. We are not looking at a paradise. There are issues. There are people who leave and come back, just like in America. And at this point in time, I'm told they are having difficulties in Taiwan because there are more need for prison space than what is available. That is very similar to what is happening in America. But again, this impression I have of a progressive institution using modern methods, trying to rehabilitate inmates and teach them skills that they can indeed use in the community. And the art itself, I see an awful lot of creativity and talent throughout Taiwan. And nowhere has it been more obvious than it has in this particular institution. Everywhere you go, if you did not see the prisoners and realizing that they were prisoners because of their dress, if you were simply walking through, you would think you were in a museum or an art gallery or some combination thereof. So this has been a most enlightening experience for me. We had a large meeting this morning. We met in a group in a conference room because there's a number of administrative people who would like to learn English better. And it was very interesting. They asked me English questions, and they were quite good. It was not at all difficult for me to understand them, although they protested that their English was not good. And I think that's a cultural characteristic too. Here too, you just simply don't talk about yourself. You are more apt to say, oh, my English is not good. But I was impressed there. Each and every one had joined the group because they were interested in improving their English. Sometimes because they had children and they wanted to set a good role model for their children. Perhaps it would help them to advance, to get a higher level job later in life. Some were just simply interested in knowing more. So I found that very heartening. Thank you. That's all for today. Bye-bye.